hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife. Joe Biden's wife, because he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
I thought she was a doctor and PhD. Yeah, I don't.
Whoopi Goldberg had a big screw up on The View when she said that she hoped that Jill Biden could be the Surgeon General. There's a little bit of a problem with that, and we'll get into that here. Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur on the Young Turks broke all of this down. Check this out.
During a recent episode of The View, Whoopi Goldberg was talking about how she wants someone to be the Surgeon General who might not be qualified for that position. Let's take a look.
I'm hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife. Joe Biden's wife, because he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
I thought she was a doctor and PhD. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I think she's a teacher, but might be good for Betsy DeVos's post.
Yes, perfect.
So Jill Biden has no medical experience at all. And the New York Times believes that that is America's most important political talk show.
So we're not getting along with Whoopi these days because she keeps bashing progressives day in, day out. And then she treats us as children, like, oh, she's the studied elder. So look, people make mistakes. I've made mistakes on air. So I don't want to get too harsh on a mistake. When I first saw the headline, I thought she just said she'd make a good Surgeon General. She added details about what a great doctor she is. You obviously didn't know that because she isn't a doctor. I mean, she's a doctor again in academically, but not a medical doctor. So
how are people allowed to go on television and talk about things that they're not prepared to talk about? Like, how does that? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And they're the ones who get paid the most. They're the ones who get the most prestigious roles in the media. They're the ones who get glowing profiles written about them in the New York Times. I mean, it blows my mind that anyone still believes that this country is at all based on meritocracy. Like, it's just not. A mistake is a mistake. I get it. And I actually don't get mad simply because someone disagrees with progressives on television. I get mad when they come from a place of ignorance, like they don't know the facts of the story, and then they come out hard against progressives. Like, if you have a counterpoint to what we believe and it's a good point, it is what it is. Or it could be a point that I disagree with, but at least it's an informed point that you're making, informed perspective that you have. But that's not what happens with Whoopi Goldberg or most of the women on The View.
So look, but they do have a couple of progressives that usually do better. Lately, they've all tilted towards the establishment in a way that's deeply frustrating. Again, I'm not overly concerned about this particular mistake, but the phenomenon that you see that happens all the time is, and you see it here, glowing, overwhelming praise of anyone in the establishment. Given the context of the nonstop bashing of progressives, Bernie Sanders and progressives can do no good. Right, AOC was on the show the other day. They criticized her. How dare you criticize Nancy Pelosi? Nancy Pelosi says terrible things about progressives, but you never criticize her. And now this effusive praises run so amok that they're like, Dr. Jill Biden is one of the best doctors in the country and should be the Surgeon General. Oh, come on.
It's pretty funny because Whoopi Goldberg makes dumb statements like this all the time, and some of the other members of The View do as well. This one is just pretty blatant that she didn't know that Jill Biden is not a medical doctor, that she's a teacher with a PhD. And it's funny to see Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar here just kind of sheepishly say, oh, I don't think she's an actual doctor. But the thing that's funny to me about this is Ana Kasparian says, how are people able to go on TV and make these mistakes like this? What I don't understand about this is, of course, no one's going to be an expert on everything and people can make mistakes, but they would have producers and presumably they have earpieces where they would have somebody in their earpiece saying, yeah, she's not that kind of doctor, Whoopi. So she could back out of that quickly. I mean, they've made some other really, Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, they've all made some really dumb statements on this show. And it seems like they're able to just free will with what they say and not do anything with a lot of preparation or anybody trying to correct them in real time in terms of a producer or something, which is bizarre to me. But Ana Kasparian is exactly right with what she's saying about this, that they should be, Whoopi Goldberg and these other hosts on The View should be more prepared, and other shows like this as well. Like they apparently just say whatever they're thinking without any help from people in the booth or whatever, which is just bizarre to me. But a story showing how dumb Whoopi Goldberg is, which I'm sure is no surprise to most people who would be watching this video. Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin and Joy Behar seem to have takes like this on almost a daily basis on The View, but as Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur are pointing out there, they're treated as these respectful, almost journalists by the mainstream media, which to me is pretty crazy. But what do you think? Do you agree with Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur here? Or, do you think this was just an honest mistake by Whoopi Goldberg? Or is Whoopi Goldberg really that dumb? Make sure to give me a like. Make sure to comment on this video. Make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. It helps me to grow the channel. I'll see you in the next one.